Hi everyone, welcome to the SuperClashBros, a podcast where we take a deep dive into the horror stories of Reddit and discuss the things that truly go bump in the night. My name is Trey, and I will be your guide through the strange and unexplainable this evening. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hey everyone, Trey here. Today I am joined by my co-host Connor, and today I will be reading the story. It is by user udisdain, and it is titled "Knocks at My Door, Whispers in My Ear" from the subreddit Skinwalkers. Now I want to start this post off by saying that I have never been one to believe in such things as skinwalkers or stories including creatures that seem scientifically impossible. As much as I love hearing stories or watching videos on them, I have never been one to be scared of things that in my mind could not be real. But this is the first time where I've encountered something I simply can't explain and has me on the edge almost every night ever since. It starts with me laying in bed. I have trouble sleeping, so I usually lay in bed watching videos until I realize how late it is, and I need to go to sleep. So I'm lying there on my phone, and I found myself going deeper and deeper into a rabbit hole of Skinwalker story videos. I must have watched them for 2 to 3 hours until it was, I would say, 3, 4 in the morning. I started feeling this very uneasy and anxious feeling about my own room, which is something I've never felt before. It was as if something was there or near that gave such a sudden feeling. Now, in a lot of these stories I heard, they say that they would hear 3 knocks, whether it be on a window or a door or whatever it may be. I heard them say 3 knocks. So as I'm watching these videos, I hear a very light knock on my door. To give more context, my door is loose, and so even a light knock will make a somewhat loud noise. I pause my video, and then I hear another knock. I said to myself, I swear to God, if I hear one more knock, I'm gonna lose it. And sure enough, a couple seconds later, I hear another one. And as soon as I heard that last knock, I got chills, and I was frozen. The knocking froze me, and I didn't even want to look over at my door. I've never in my life gotten so scared. I didn't want to move, so I just laid there, debating in my head if I really had just heard 3 knocks, or if it was a draft or some rational thing that made that noise. I started to hear a sort of whispering in my right ear. Only in my right ear. The only or best way I can describe it is a faster version of the snake language from the Harry Potter series. I have never heard anything like that before. In the years I've lived in my house, it wasn't my air conditioning, it wasn't my fan, it came out of nowhere. I didn't want to move. I sat there listening to this whispering and feeling like something was staring at me from my doorway. But after what felt like an hour, but was probably the longest 10 minutes of my life, the whispering slowly faded away, and I was left there, still too scared to move, until I fell asleep. Now, as small as my story was, the whispering and the knocks will forever haunt me and be burned into my brain. And I have never heard it since, and was the only thing to ever really scare me. I no longer watch Skinwalker videos when I'm alone or at night. And when I'm alone at home, I will keep my gun somewhere near me. That's the story. That's the end of the story.
Interesting. See, anytime I've ever just thought about stories of skinwalkers and things of that nature, I've always imagined it like out in the woods or something, right? I never really imagined a one that's like in someone's house or trying to get into someone's house.
Right. I find it a little strange that, after watching, 2 to, or what do they say, 2 to 3 hours of videos and such, that all of a sudden they have this occurrence.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes me, not believe it.
Yeah, because I mean, your mind kind of
right, plays tricks on you. I'm sure you've had experiences, and I know I have, where either you ingest certain content, and then later on you feel a certain way. You're you're kind of looking around at things differently, or you'll see something out of the corner of your eye, and you're like, "What the fuck was that?" Um, and who's to say that this could have even been like a sleep paralysis type dream or something that they just remember.
Yeah, definitely. And I know, like, there's been times where after I've watched like a horror movie in bed at night, or I go down a rabbit hole watching videos on my iPad or something, like I'll turn it off, and like every little noise, like every little knock that I probably wouldn't have noticed, I am now super aware of, right?
Right,
And
yeah, you've got like
so,
a heightened sense.
yeah, and your mind kind of goes like wild thinking of things. I do have one interesting story of like um, feeling like somebody was watching me and then hearing something. Um, I had just moved into my first place of my own, and it was before my wife at the time girlfriend had moved in with me, and I was laying in bed and I felt like this weird like I was being watched. And I kind of like looked around the room back and forth like this is weird. This is a weird feeling. And I remember like closing my eyes, laying down, and I heard like a little girl giggle. And I like opened my eyes and I'm looking around like what the hell was that? I flick on the light and the really weird part was at that time uh, it was a duplex. So the person who lived on the other side was an old woman who lived by herself.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I remember you telling me this story back when it happened. I remember that
it's
very vividly. And you were like genuinely kind of freaked out about it. And it's funny because I distinctly remember after you told that story, I was like, "Yo, like I'm gonna come hang out and spend the night," you know.
yeah,
And like I didn't see anything, I didn't hear anything, because like at the time you had said that because like you had this weird like half wall divider between your living room and what was like your dining room, and you had like amiibos or like little figurines stacked up on it, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
said that you kept finding them like thrown halfway across the room.
yeah,
You remember
yeah,
telling me that? Okay.
yeah. I had like funk. It was a what was it? Ghostbusters Funko Pop. Like a fairly decent. It was one of the big ones. It was the giant Marshmallow Man one, and I would find him halfway across the living room, which seems weird. I mean, it's possible that he fell and then bounced and rolled a whole bunch, but like it was
Right.
weird, you know. And it would happen with that same one all the time. So I don't know.
Yeah, I remember there was a moment the night that I stayed over, and like it scared the fuck out of me when it happened. Um, I saw like a figure, like it was like white, like walk past like the hallway to the bathroom.
Mhm.
And at first I was like, holy shit, what the fuck was that? And then I just realized it was like you getting up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. And I was like,
Yeah,
ah, son of a bitch.
yeah, that place was weird.
Yeah,
Oh, I have
it
a
was
few
a
other
weird place.
interesting stories, but I'll share them on a different podcast. But yeah,
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever had a similar experience. Like I said, like there have been times where I'll see something out of my peripheral that I think is one thing, but then it's just like oh, like a coat hanging on something, and
hmm
so it's like, oh, that looked like a person, and like you have that sudden moment where like your heart drops, you're like, oh shit. um, but yeah, like I don't know what I would do in a situation like this. I do also. I think it's funny that this person says that they will keep their guns somewhere near me at the end of the story, and it's like if it's a skinwalker or like some like mystical being or paranormal entity, is a gun really gonna do anything?
I think you'd still feel like
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for
mildly more
sure. Like
comfortable with it.
like I keep the shotgun near the bed, and like yeah, that provides me like a peace of mind. But I mean, yeah, like
Because I mean, you watch these paranormal videos, and you see these guys wandering through like these like abandoned houses, or in the woods, or in like a sewer, drainage area, and they're walking through, and they'll supposedly catch something on camera, right? My only thought in those is like, you didn't bring some kind of weapon with you, because
Right.
let's say on the very unlikely chance there is something in there. Like, do you at least want to stand a chance?
Yeah, I suppose peace of mind goes a long way.
Yeah.
In situations like these, I do. I think I would feel a lot more comfortable with a firearm. But yeah, honestly though, I think like any situation that requires one would be far more horrifying than anything supernatural.
Oh yeah.
But means you're having a different night, different kind of night,
and not so fun.
Yeah. Well, I think that is going to do it for this episode, guys. We have merch. We still have our SpookyCast merch up. It's going to be up on our merch site all through September, October. It will be linked down in the description below. But other than that, if you guys have any stories you'd like to submit, you can do so via our email, scspookycast@gmail.com. And we hope you have a safe and spooky night, and we will catch you guys on the next one.